has never made sense for us to take someone who is truant, someone who just skipped class, and put them in incarceration.
Each year, more than 600,000 youth are admitted to juvenile detention centers. The majority of the offenses are property crimes or violating probation. In the 1990s, research indicated that the nation's juvenile detention centers were ineffective, expensive, and arbitrary.
They make kids self-identify as criminals in a way we really don't want. They give us some temporary respite from the kid running around in the community, but they put that young person back out into our community as a self-identified criminal who we've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on making worse.
The Annie E. Casey Foundation developed the Juvenile Detention Alternatives Initiative to demonstrate that jurisdictions could reduce reliance on detention without sacrificing public safety.
One of the best practices that's in the country today, and that is the Casey's Juvenile Detention Alternatives Initiative. The only way that we are going to truly improve the system from the front door all the way out to the back door and back into the community is to focus on risk, so that we only are detaining those who must appropriately be detained, balancing the interest of the public safety, balancing the interest of harm to self, and balancing the interest at the front door of the risk of reappearance in court.
How do states go about building fairer, more efficient, and more effective juvenile detention systems? By bringing together key stakeholders and community partners to analyze the problems and develop solutions based upon objective data. One of the first issues to be addressed is how to decide who would or wouldn't be admitted to secure detention.
The risk assessment instrument gives points to a young person when they are delivered to detention to determine whether that young person should stay in detention or should be released.
We make these decisions now guided by a detention assessment instrument. We call it the DAI. That's what we are promoting across the country so that we're not making these kind of anecdotal, prejudiced decisions about who should be locked up and who should not be locked up. When you lock up a child, when you make that front door decision to detain a child, you are profoundly impacting that child's life and everyone else in this room's life. Because that child goes, the chances are that child is going to go deeper into the system, be further penetrated into the system, and end up in long-term confinement, and do all the things we've talked about. So we've got to be really focused on improving our decision-making about, who goes in.
One of the causes of unnecessary reliance on secure detention is the absence of effective community-based alternatives to detention that could moderate the risk that a kid poses of getting rearrested or not appearing in court. And in the JDAI sites, a continuum of program options was developed that typically included home detention, day or evening reporting centers, and some number of shelter beds for kids who didn't have a home to which they could return.
We have to have data-informed decision-making. We have to have all those things that we are beginning to bring and introduce into juvenile justice systems.